Welcome back to NASCAR Heat 5. Folks, today we have got Chicagoland Speedway, 150 laps with the trucks, back on Legend difficulty. We did pretty well last race at Iowa in the trucks, but ended up with 3 to go, wrecking out. I put a custom setup on it, and it bit me right in the butthole. It was terrible. So we're going to be a little more cautious with that going forward. However, we do have this race right now, and I got to set it up. I got to do the work plan right here, and well, you know, you'll see it right now. So what you're seeing is we actually spent the money on maxing out Maria Milano's training overall, so she now has max engine for her, max aero, and max suspension. Each one has a primary profession, which most, as you can tell, which ones they really are, because I have them lined up. Marie is kind of there as we're real close to maxing something out with a car or with a truck, so we use her for those types of things. But today, we really wanted to go full on our super speedway car truck to get it ready for whenever. We will be running the second car. No, maybe we'll run the third car today, because we have a more balanced car, especially with the suspension. So, or truck 4 is what I'm trying to tell you here. So we're going to do that, and we'll see you at qualifying as we do. We ran as hard as we could, and 31.5 was as good as we could get. So the goal time is, I mean, I started in the mid 32s and made some adjustments and kind of mismatched some setups from other tracks that are similar, and an Xfinity setup from this track and a gear ratio from Michigan, and then I adjusted as I was driving, and that was as good as we could get. But the good news is we were also stable, so with the draft stability, we might be okay. Yeah, half second off the pole spot. That's not terrible. I'm not, I don't know. We'll see. We got out there with some of the drivers. By the way, all truck drivers were updated, and it's like a big update as far as their speeds go. So expect to see a lot of them in the upper parts of positioning here. So anyway, let's qualify and see where we put ourselves now that competition is a lot stiffer, Legend difficulty, and all the drivers are updated to basically, for the most part, be as good as they can be. Here we go, qualifying lap underway. Looking for a lap just slower than what they were asking for during the practice. So we were at a 31.5 at best. I don't think we're going to achieve a 31.2 here. We'll see what happens, though. We will see what we can possibly get done here. Stick, hold, stack, hold. All right, not bad. Dip it down onto the apron. Save any amount we can.
All right.
And we get, I think that was exactly our best lap in practice. 10th place. Come on, folks. That's a great qualifying effort. And here's where you get to see some fun. Gary Norton wins the pole. David Schildhouse second. Matt Malone third. Bryce Egan fourth. Casey Kane fifth. I told you, folks, we've upgraded the drivers. They're going to be challenging everybody now. John Perez 8th. Max Cost 9th. We're in 10th. Jeremiah Graham 13th. Bernardo de Oliveira 15th. Matt Kenseth 16th. Michael Chavez 18th. Eliza Bethel 21st. Lance Norick 22nd. Speedy Jones 27th. Taylor Carpenter 28th. And Parker Smith 31st. Bradshaw Stout 32nd. Bradshaw has not had his driver updated yet. Got 150 laps here, and Johnny Sauter, well, he hates us. Casey Kane unapproved. Great top 5 qualifying, goes to the back. And Gary Norton, first custom driver to win the pole. He's in the front. We've got a mishmash, pish-posh of drivers here that like us and don't like us. This is going to be an incredibly crazy race. We set a goal of 5th place. for the monies. Cost tries to come down, but he can't because Perez was in the way of murdering me. Now we'll come down right here, and Perez will just drive right down onto us, and he's alive. He took Cost with him, but he's actually still alive, so there is that. 35 laps here in stage number 1. And we are up in 7th. I believe we can, well, I don't know actually, because this is legend difficulty. So hopefully with the draft, we'll be able to pull up and get ourselves into 5th place or better. We'll see. We will see. Got three wide racing in front of us. You're going to see some interesting stuff in this race, I believe, as we continue to have improvements from these drivers. In the Xfinity Series, the custom drivers are going to improve faster probably than us and faster than they did in this series. I know we're only in the 2nd season. They won't improve this quickly, I don't think. It's going to be more balanced, but knowing that we are vying for a championship and probably going to get out of this series at the end of the season if we win the championship, I wanted to give them an opportunity to fight for wins and fight for the best possible position as well that they can. I felt like it was a disservice to these guys to not give, and gals, well, Eliza is the female driver. Anyway, but give them the opportunity to actually compete up front in the truck series. We put all the effort into these paint schemes, put all the effort in learning how this is going to work anyway, and here we are. Gave them a, basically before I was dividing their points by 10, and so the points that they would have to upgrade their driver was 1/10 their standings or their season points, rounded up, and then we decided to just flat out give them their points this time, not divide it at all. I think in the next one I'll divide it by 5. I think that's a really nice balance. So they'll get bigger jumps as they start to move towards the front of the pack, but still will take them a little while to get there. And the reality is eventually they can't actually upgrade themselves anymore. Just like I can't upgrade my truck anymore. So some of the drivers who are in the back right now who haven't upgraded or who aren't as high in the standings, their next upgrades are going to affect them more than it does these drivers, and they'll start to compete. But they're at a disadvantage at this stage of the race or season because these drivers are going to be getting more playoff points or getting more of an opportunity to be in the playoffs than the drivers that haven't been able to upgrade as much yet. So that's kind of the gist of how it all worked out as we jump in behind Grant Enfinger here, and we're going to hang out behind him for a bit. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do, to be honest with you. I'm just trying to...
Hold your line, got one inside.
I feel, I mean, the truck feels great. It feels very solid. It's not, I mean, there's a slight wiggle out of the exit, and that's usually if I'm not letting it fade at all, if I'm holding or if I'm trying to steer through the corner and keep it at a lower line. And it's barely noticeable, so that's fine. But we've dropped back to 8th place, probably because I'm talking and not really focused on my line, which is fine. That's part of, you know, doing what I'm doing. But I'm really hoping, as Johnny Sauter starts to drift back, if I can get these 3 places, we're where we need to be. So, unfortunately, of these 3 cars, the car that we have to get past is Johnny Sauter, and he is a rival. So, that's not going to be great for us, but he's also running the low line, which is letting us suck up to him, which is kind of funny. He'll drive right down on us, though, in the corners. That's part of the problem. See how Enfinger isn't, and Crafton's right behind us. Now, Max Koss, earlier incident right off the bat, he's actually caught back up. He was in an incident, well, I think it might have been John Perez was in the incident with us, but Koss was part of the issue that ended up happening. We're actually going to try this real quick. May not be the best thing. Nope, it wasn't. Wasn't the best thing for me. Thought I'd try it to see if I could gain enough on him Now we're gonna try to get a run through here. We can get to him. The problem is he's gonna drive down on us as soon as we get into the crew. Well, he's already driving onto us. And it just messes us up. I think it messes him up more when I'm on the inside though, so that's a big deal. Is we'll take 5th place away. And now we've got Schildhouse and Malone in 4th and 3rd. I think Gary Norton's still leading it. And, whoa, pay attention, Savoy. Oh, that's bad. We're going to lose everything we just did. Everything we just did. That's what I get for just not paying attention. Of course, on Legend, no real room for mistakes like that. You gotta stay on point. I mean, there's room for a little bit of error, but you really gotta stay on point this whole time. And here comes Sauter. I'm not even turning my steering wheel at this point. And here we go again.
Hold your line. Got one outside. You got room. You're clear. Inside.
Oh, that's amazing. Hopefully I can pull into Enfinger and he can pull us away from Sauter, who's riding us up to the wall right now. You know, you destroy a guy 7 or 8 or 26 times and he just has enough of you. That's unfortunate. Hey, Jeremiah Graham has made his way up to, I was going to say, he's fully upgraded too. I don't know why he was qualifying so low, but it was just a bad qualifying effort as he has made it up into the top 10 and 9th place himself. So excellent job for the 53 team. His Xfinity paint scheme, probably one of my favorites that I did. A lot of my Xfinity paint schemes, and I've said this before, are just schemes that are the actual driver schemes that I had to replicate. But when I get the custom drivers, I get to be a little creative, and his scheme is 100% custom, and so I really liked it. Similarly, last night I finished the last paint scheme, late arrival. Speedy Jones going to be in the Xfinity series. And I got his paint scheme all set up, and it's pretty wild, too. I like it a lot. So, you want to take a look at those paint schemes. We do have previews of them on the 3D models in the Discord channel under the paint schemes. I release a new one every day until we've got them all out. So, go ahead and check for the link in the description and join the Discord. That's also where all these subscriber drivers are in the Discord, so you want to talk to them, or if you become a fan of them, I don't know, just go in there, join up, say hi. We've gone ahead and managed to get ourselves back up, which was good. We've gotten around Grant Enfinger, and Jeremiah Graham has made his way up to 7th place. He is a man on a mission right now.
20 laps to go.
We got 20 to go, so we've gone 15. Truck feels great still. And now that I'm really kind of focused in, can I start to catch Schildhouse and Malone? The biggest thing is that I just have to keep paying attention and not do what I did after I got into 5th place last time, which was I ended up running the high line, but not intentionally, so we ran it poorly. We did gain 2/10 on both Malone and Schildhouse through 3 and 4 there. I might be burning up my tires more than them, but what does it matter if I'm still able to catch them? What are we at for tires? 73%, but look at, it's not bad if you look at all the tire wear. Get a little more on the front right here, so we're leaning in on it a little hard, but it's all right. It's all right. I'm not really upset about it at all. I might be able to catch Schildhouse. Thinking we can do some good work. Thinking we can. And it looks like maybe some lap traffic is coming into play as well. That could help us. I mean, they're up a little ways, but you can see them right now, and I believe that's Carpenter right here. Did not upgrade his truck yet. I'll get in touch with him pretty soon and make sure that he gives me his upgrade stuff, but that's why he's running in the back there. 5th place, we're not going to stop because, again, if we were farther back or if the trucks were a lap down, we're closer to us maybe, but I'm not driving through that whole pack, so back to it. Everyone's stacked back up. We've got Enfinger on our outside, Graham behind us, Malone and Schildhouse in front of us. Malone is angry, but not actually a rival, and Egan is not a rival either. He's actually, I think he's kind, so got some time there with him. Just gonna hope that Schildhouse doesn't come down on us right now, because if I can stick with Malone and Egan, we could maybe drive. Well, there goes Schildhouse driving into us, but we're okay, and so is he, because I turned up this driver stability. I turned that back up to normal. I realized after last race travesty, basically, that we couldn't do that. So here we go, up into third place, riding this draft. We're gonna actually roll high a little bit. Get up into Egan's draft for a moment as he went a little high, but I could have probably done draft partners on this, but I'm only going to do it. I decided to only do it on super speedways. So, but I got to pay more attention to my line and not try to do weird stuff to get around these guys, because I don't really have the speed in it to do that. As long as we stay on the inside, we get nice runs, but as soon as I move up middle or high side of the track, we are no bueno. 12 left in stage number 1. And it's exciting right now, so we're going to keep it at the normal speed. We'll just probably do a speed up throughout all of stage 2, if I'm being completely honest. Norton is a rival, so he's going to ride down on us. That's probably going to affect him more than us overall. As you can see, he's tightened us up, but he's on the outside, so we rode him up the track, and he loses a position for that. And we'll see if Gary Norton can get things back together and work his way back up in the pack. He was your pole winner, but right now Bryce Egan is leading this race. Now, Bryce Egan has led laps before, and unfortunately in that race he had a mechanical failure or a blown tire or something. He did end up finishing, but I want to say it was not nearly where he should have been, as we were racing together a lot. I don't remember the race specifically, but I do recall, or the track specifically, but I do recall that all occurring with us. So got Malone running a higher line, so I'm going to try to take advantage of it. And, you know, shortest way around the track is the low line. We did get the position, but we're side by side. We don't want to crowd him too much, but we do want to get up a little bit so that our entry isn't too shallow. Here we go. If I can power it through 3 and 4, but he got a good run right there. Goal here is to be able to clear him coming out of 2, I would suppose. Ooh, little touch there, no big deal, just a tiny touch. And I think we're going to get it now. Here we go, as we do get the position, but Bryce Egan has all but driven away from us. Malone sitting there solid in 3rd place, dropped that back down onto the inside line as I can see it in my rear view. So we'll definitely, I'm going to go on the apron again. And then we'll hop it back up. And then we'll get a nice angle. And try to hang on to this one here. We are actually reeling in Egan right now because he's running that high line. Crazy, we're not driving away from Norton all that much, though, so that's real interesting. Wonder if we can catch... It would be awesome if we could catch Egan and actually win this first stage. It would be actually fantastic. Because then we could be out front, which would make the speed up, you know, completely worth it, because we just speed things up and no action anyway, so no big deal to just speed things up for stage 2, and then we'll come back for stage 3, and we'd split stage 3 up probably in 3 sections. Long on the regular speed, middle to about, you know, middle to late on the speed up again, and then the final little bits, if, barring action, but the final little bit might just be 5 or so laps of regular speed racing again.
5 laps to go.
We got 5 laps to see if we can figure it out. Egan has gone back down, though, so I'm not sure. This feels like it might be a good 1 and 2, though. We might gain on him pretty well. It felt pretty good right there. We got 1/10. As soon as we get into that draft, we are all but able to battle him out. Ran the high line again. That's going to cost him as we get another 10th on him. Dive it in onto 1. Get on it. Truck is just, it's so stable right now. It's crazy. It's nice after last race. We were battling at Iowa the whole time. It just wasn't a setup that was conducive to my driving, I would say. I don't know what else to say about it. But here, we're into Egan's draft. We're going to rip on the tires. Apparently aren't as good as his, because he was able to keep it tight down there and not give up anything to us, really. But here we go. So we're right up on him. We'll follow him around for a minute. I can't get around him on the outside. He's too fast. What I have to do is get a good run off and time it. So we'll back it up a little bit. Not right now. We've got some time. What do we got? 2 or 3 laps left. If it's 1 lap, we'll set it up to do it at that point. But right now I'm going to kind of hang out here. And then hopefully I'll be able to pass him. Yeah, 2 to go. So I want to try to get to him on the exit of 2 and be side by side going into 3 and 4 the next time around. So for now, we're just going to work together to drive away. And I'm staying in his draft here, so we were able to run that higher line and not have a problem. He's staying on the high line with 1 to go, though, and that's going to give us an opportunity with the draft we had to get to his fender before the turn. And that's a big deal for us, as he's going to stay on that high line. That's going to definitely give us the first position. Now it's just a matter of, can we? Well, he gets it back. Can we beat him through 3 and 4 enough to hang on and come away with a victory in stage number 1? He's behind us. Are we going to clear him? It doesn't matter. We've got the run. And looks like a caution came out right before we were going to cross the line, and we get stage 1 victory. I saw some smoke in front of me at the end of that. Lance Norrick staying out is going to be in the lead. I don't expect that to last. As a matter of fact, we passed him. I think we passed him either right when we got to the line or right before we got to the line. He is going to hold everybody up behind us. That's a big deal for us. It does look, according to those skid marks, that he might have been the one that spun it out and put it into the wall. Blown tire, I would assume. So here we are. As I said, we jump out to the lead. And, not much to see now, as we're hopefully just going to drive away. With that, folks, we're going to go to that speed up I said. 31 laps in stage 2. 31 laps of a big old speed up. And we'll be back with you with cautions. We'll come back. We'll talk a little bit and go right back to the speed up. Otherwise, end of stage number 2 is when we will be back on the mic.
close out.
Okay.
Back down.
So what we basically did, I'm glad that yellow came out so I could explain because we started to catch him. What I was running before, I was letting off the gas way early, and then as time went on, I started to push it harder and harder, and I started to come off much later. So we were able to start to catch the leaders again. Looks like Lance Norick. Well, Lance Norick's pitting because he didn't earlier. It looks like Taylor Carpenter is the one who's smoking up in front of us. Obviously, probably blown tire. Judging by the fact that even at a slow pace, he looks like he's going right back up to the wall and hitting it again. We're going to start on the outside. Matt Malone on our inside. And I really believe now that we should be able to catch and run with these guys, no problem. We were catching them, and it was a lot to do with, again, that I was, oh, my gear ratio is way better than theirs. Way better. Holy crap. I mean, it's not the default gear ratio, so. Anyway, though, the whole goal here is just to, well, obviously, it's to get as far up as we can, but I've got trucks everywhere. Oh, no, we don't. Get inside. Oh, late. We're good.
Inside.
Ah, we're going to get run over, aren't we? 3 wide. Egan right on us. All right. Oh, geez. 4 wide, maybe. Holy crap.
Stay high up here.
We're going to have to pay attention to that one. Hopefully that shows up in the replay. That might be a thumbnail for you guys. Oh, my goodness. That was a lot. Anyway, though, we're going to start to drive it in pretty hard.
Hold your line. Stay high.
So, pretty far like that. And as you can see, we're not losing them now. We were just... All of a sudden, Malone actually came out of nowhere, caught us, and started to drive away. We're not even on the inside line right now, and because of the draft and because we're driving it in so deep, it's going well. But that time we're going to get on the brakes a little to avoid running into Malone. He did go a little higher, but... All right. I'm going back to the speed up so I can focus up, and we'll be back at the end of stage number 2. There we go, final lap of stage number 2, and I messed that up royally. Oh boy, did I mess that up. He's not on the wall, don't worry, he's not being ridden to the wall. We weren't actually touching. Well, we might have been, but problem is Schildhouse is absolutely going to win this one. I had gotten to his bumper, but that's the problem with a rival. There's no give. So even getting to his bumper, there was no way for me to... I knew if I dipped down, he'd probably wreck himself trying to wreck us. And I didn't want that to happen. And, you know, if he's not a rival and I get to that fender, he'll leave the door open a little bit, which is all I need. But it was a good one. 9 points. He got 10. I expect him to be there at the end here, not only in the race, but in the championship. All right, we ended up coming out in the lead. I'm going to actually try to drive a lot more aggressive right off the bat here. Aggressive meaning my drive into the turns being more aggressive. Thankfully, our gear ratio to get up to speed is a huge jump for us as we'll drive away from Schildhouse. The only reason why I care more about that than anything is that as a rival, he immediately was starting to drive down like he wanted to run through us. So I'm glad that didn't happen. And now, I mean... We got to pit once during this process. I believe it's just once. Let me actually look. Oh yeah, just one time during this whole process. So hopefully we'll be able to drive it as hard as we can, go in deep into the turns before we come off the gas, hit the wall, and lose a lot of momentum. That was dumb. Oh yeah, we can hold a lot more speed on fresh tires. That's for dang sure. Problem is, Bryce Egan, he's going to take advantage of what just happened to us on that wall. That's on me, obviously. And he's got that whole line behind him. There's a whole draft train going on right there. I just looked up in the rear view. I wasn't paying attention to it. Need to be more focused on what's going on in front of me. He got a huge run, though, on Enfinger, as Schildhaus has dropped way out of it. I don't know what's going on with him, but I missed my turn again, and I'm going to lose first place right away in the beginning of this run. All right, we're fine. Everything is fine. We're going to roll with Egan. Let's see if me and Egan can just kind of drive away from this for now. Drive away from everyone together. I don't know. He still has more of a turn than we do. We're not maxed out on our suspension or aero yet, so that's part of it. We got Enfinger. He's rolling tight with us. Schildhaus dropped back past 6th place after starting on the outside of us. That's crazy. I don't know if he had contact or trouble. Oh, there he goes back up in the top 5. The only reason why I care is because he was right next to us, and then all of a sudden he wasn't even on the leaderboard. There we go. That's how I should be taking that turn. And as you can see, instantly we got a little gap on Enfinger, and we moved up to Egan a little bit more as well. Best thing I can do here. Yep, there we go. Perfect. It's just a matter of you have to hit that turn absolutely perfect on your entry in order to be able to drive it in like that and not really screw yourself. I can't. Oh, yeah, it was my best lap ever. That's fantastic. That has to do with a little bit of draft and a little bit of the way we're attacking those turns. Well, Schildhaus, I shouldn't have said anything at all, as he's made his way back onto the screen. Up into 4th, and I can see him right behind us. And I followed Egan instead of driving my own line, and that's going to cost us. We're going to lose 2nd place. Long race left to go, but this won't be the first time that we've dropped back. We'll drop back to 6th. Here comes Schildhaus with a little love tap. And he's love tapping us all the way up to the wall. And yeah, a lot of damage on us for that. A lot of damage from that. That's not good at all. The seat on the front end. That sucked. All right. That slowed us up so much that I didn't even have to hit the brakes going into 3 and 4. So now we got to do whatever we can to catch back up to this whole group. And we got another rival right in front of us that's going to do everything he can to prevent this from happening. Unfortunate, really. Unfortunate overall. Another reason why I just can't wait to get out of this series. All the rivals. There's nothing I can do to make the relationships better, otherwise I would. Like, I don't come blasting up into Cost. I got on the brakes to avoid running through him. That should be one of those things where they're like, oh yeah, you're running within a certain region of this driver. Points are going up with your relationship, and they're no longer a rival. They're heated, but they're no longer a rival because you did nice stuff. But no, I'm going to get up into 3 and 4, and he's going to absolutely blast me when I get near it. Oh, there we go. Smoke coming from his tires as he drives down on us, which almost sent us up the track. Gary Norton, your pole winner, sitting in 6th place. Not too bad for him. We have got to at least improve by 2 positions. I mean, it's not even about the win. Our goal is a top 5 for the money, money being the incentive. I don't think we have to get it in every race to get the incentive, but I certainly want to get it so it's not a worry. We were able to achieve what we needed to in the Xfinity race, which is a top 20, but we were still able to do it. So Here we go. Just, I guess I'm going to have to focus up on how hard I can, or yeah, driving in as deep as possible here. I keep touching the apron. That's a huge no-no. It doesn't spin you out, but it definitely slows you down, slows down your momentum a lot. Harry Norton 1.4 seconds in front of us, and it's got a lot more to do with the fact that I was, and my angle of attack was wrong. They're also in a draft, and I don't have a draft helping me. So I got to do what I can do to get away from max costs and to gain up on these other drivers here. And that was a really good corner. So 1 and 2 there, pretty nice. And we gained a 10th on Schildhaus. Well, that's a perfect example of the difference when we have a really good corner entrance. This was a good one as well. Just drove it in deep. Even though he drove away, that just felt really good. He's in the draft. They're in the draft. That's part of it. That's probably the biggest part of the whole thing. He's drafting with Malone right now. Norton's drafting with Enfinger or Crafton. I don't know. It's one of the two up there. So we're just going to have to keep pushing as hard as we can and hope that we end up making some ways, because they're driving away from me right now. Now, we still have pit stops, and there still could be a caution. So there's things that can happen here. We have a tip-top team, so our pit stop could be something that helps us. We've got options. We've got options. I'm not super worried yet. If there was 10 left and everything else had already played out, I'd just be praying for a caution. But last time I said that was at Iowa, and as I was literally saying it, we touched the apron after getting loose coming out of 4, and we had avoided DNFs, I think, twice in that race. We had hit the wall pretty decently, and we had avoided the DNFs. And that last one, right as I said it, it happened, and that sucked. Got Enfinger and Norton kind of side by side, but the pack in front of them with Schildhaus, Malone, and Egan are all just battling it out. They were just running a line together, but it all changed real quick. And it looks like, is that Matt Crafton? Yeah, Matt Crafton leading the race. But we've started to gain on Enfinger because he's not in that draft right now. So that, as you can tell, is a huge deal. We get up to him, we start to draft with him. We get into the draft of the other drivers, and we have an opportunity to get ourselves back up in the pack, not worrying about pit stops and not worrying about maybe cautions coming out. So, although I do feel like there will be cautions, especially as we get closer to the end of the end of the fuel run at this point. Schildhaus has made himself all the way, or made it all the way back up to the front. But we are slowly reeling in Grant Enfinger. He's 6/10 behind 5th place. And so with that, we've been able to catch up to him. That was a really bad set of turns, so we actually lost a 10th there after gaining it for just a moment. But let's try to get to him here. We've got smoke. We've got a truck in the wall. Oh, no, it's Gary Norton. Very unfortunate for him. We're going to stay out. Everybody is all stacked back up, gives us an opportunity. Schildhaus leading the race. Matt Crafton on his outside.
Be ready here.
We've got the damage on the truck, but it hasn't really affected us that much, thankfully. After the hits we took, I thought it was a really bad amount of damage, but we ended up doing okay.
Stay high up there.
Come on, man. That didn't work out for us at all. Crafton turned up, and we couldn't get around him on the outside. Now we're stuck 3 wide. Let's not.
Inside.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. Hang on to it. There we go. I saw a cost behind me and just saw death all over the place with that, but we ended up getting a really good run even though we were on the high line.
Careful, still there.
Running that high line again. This time it's not going to go well, but we have a clear way behind us, so we'll drive it down and get in behind Egan.
Still there.
I would love to have the three of us get past Malone and Schildhouse. We're back in 5th. That's the primary goal. And then we're back in 6th. Got Crafton right there.
All right, clear out.
Hang on to it. Hang on. Yeah, I don't like shallow entry into corners. And that's where I struggle with the truck. Obviously, we go in high speed. No arc.
Stay low.
So I guess we could have gotten on the brakes a little bit and it would have been all right, but
You're all clear up top there.
we ended up getting a decent 3 and 4 there to get in front of Enfinger. So that worked out, which is pretty awesome. Right here with Egan. I'd love to just work with Egan to get up to the front. I just don't. If he runs that high line, I'm just not going to do it. Oh, he didn't run the high line. Malone goes to middle. Maybe not his best idea. Interesting. All right. Well, with him running middle, though, I'm not going to be able to get as much of an arc as I want, which sucks. There we go. See, as we drift up the track and loose spots because of that, they're so sticky to the track compared to me. Dang that AI. So 2 things happen though
Car high now.
in this race that
All right, clear outside.
that's different from the, well, not one thing is the same as previous races, but another thing is different, and that's all of these drivers that are up here are basically top notch on speedways now. They're set up to be unbelievable on speedways. Some of them are set up to be unbelievable on all the tracks, but speedways are the sure thing for how good they are. This is the best that they can possibly be. And then the other thing is with the up to legend difficulty, we've just done twofold. There was no work up to, hey, let's just run legend again and then have these trucks still be a little slower. No, we just went full bore right away. So that's where we're at.
Stay high up there.
Get a nice ride outside of Egan, not where I wanted to be. That's going to be costly. Try to get down on Egan again, and I would love to, well,
Careful.
I was going to say I would have loved to have been able to stay inside of him, but it didn't work out. All right. Little tap. No, don't lose it. Don't lose it. Don't lose it. Don't lose. Oh, no. Oh, wow. He's gone. We hit that wall hard.
Yellow's out. Back her down.
That'll be the last pitting. Last remaining 50 right now. That sucked.
All right, be smart out there. Going green. Ready. Hammer down. Hold your line.
I want to
Got
see we
one
have 49
inside.
in the tank, but I want to see if we have less than 50 to go at the line. Okay, 47. So we are set for the rest of the
You
race.
got room. You're clear.
No pitting unless we have damage. Everyone's on fresh stuff though, so they all run just as hard as I do once they're up to speed. We've got 47 laps to keep this truck together. And they've got the draft working for them. So right now we're where we are and we're driving away from everyone. But as soon as they kind of all are full up to speed, they're going to catch us. And we're just going to have to work to grab their draft and hang with them at that point. Being up here alone just isn't worth it. But we'll stay up here as long as we can. And as soon as they catch us again, we'll just try to zip right into the draft and hang with them. Nope. Yep. Okay. Holy crap, Casey Kane, which had pre-race implications, he's made his way back up to the top 5. after he had a 5th place qualifying, he had to go to the back of the pack, and throughout this race, he's worked his way up. And showing the strength of that truck and this team right now, he's made his way up to the top 5, battling it out with Johnny Sauter and David Schildhaus right now. We're hanging on right with a 5/10 lead over Matt Malone. And I am driving it deep into the corner before I come off the gas to try to keep that lead. And Matt Malone being 6/10 in front of Schildhaus. It's kind of interesting. Schildhaus and Sauter probably battling it side by side. And all of that keeps us up in the lead and not losing any time to these guys as long as I hit my turns properly, which is huge. I say as they both gain a 10th on me right there. I hit my turn perfectly, so that sucked. They must be in their each other's draft again, because now he's gaining on me. They're both gaining on me. And the problem is that what happened last time was the contact that I had with Schildhaus is what dropped me all the way back like that. So when he catches me, I'm going to have to just let off and let him go around if he ends up being one of them that catches me. Now, if Malone just catches me and we stay in front of him, he kind of pushes us with the draft, that'd be fine. But that's not going to happen because I left the door open? No, I didn't. Okay. He's just a 10th behind us, but Schildhaus has fallen back another 10th, so there is a chance that we can do some good work here. Oh, that was stupid. I'm driving in my rear view way too much. What I need to do is just hit my marks. But I know he's going to stay on the inside, and the AI drivers can just run that inside line, what seems like no penalty. Look at that. How is he going in that shallow and holding it like that? That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. We get a decent run off, but I don't think it's going to matter in the end. There's nothing I can do. We got Bryce Egan jumping up on the inside. I want to stay with them. Oops, sorry, Egan. I can't risk it with Schildhaus. He comes right down on us like that because he's a rival. I knew that was going to happen, and I didn't want to drop back to 7th again, you know? So I'm going to try to get in behind him and use his draft. Keep us up with these 4. If we can drive away and it's just a battle of 4 trucks, I know that'd be a great finish for us. I'd be shocked if there isn't another caution. Also, Bryce Egan, who we had contact with, sitting there in 2nd place. Congratulations to him. Everything kind of froze. The standings or whatever positions freeze when the caution comes out. So he was able to. He didn't have to go into the pit. He just spun, so he was able to just get right back to it and get back to driving. Oh no, he would have pit. We all pit. That's why. We all pit, and he, with the frozen standings, he was able to just get back with it. All that talking, I did miss my turn a couple times, which sucked, but I think we are in position to still catch some draft and catch up to them. I'm not going high line because Schildhaus is, not because he's running there, but because I can't run that high line. It just, we don't have the power to be up there and still competitive. So here we are inside of Schildhaus, right up behind him. Like I wish that, like in NASCAR Thunder 04, where drafting with these people, it's slow, but it improves your relationship with them. And if that were the case, I'd just run the next 40 laps behind Schildhaus and hopefully end up not having somebody who I'm going to be battling with in the finals, probably. Not trying to kill us, but did you see that? He didn't run down on us at all in that turn. He didn't run down on us at all. So that's awesome. And I would love it if we were able to mend a relationship there. These 2 drivers, although Malone's driver is angry with us, he's not a rival, so we got to keep that in mind. All we can do is improve relationships with him. Well, I shouldn't say that. We could ruin our relationship with him, but the goal is just to improve the relationship with him, so got to be aware of what we're doing on the track and not, you know, ram into him or anything. We can touch him. We can get right here, get off the gas, give him a little rub, but we can't ram into him. Looked like Schildhouse got into my draft. He sucked right up to us. And it is a breakaway. We're a second in front of 5th place. So with us drafting, we're able to just pull away from everyone else. No, come on. There we go. Back up in that draft. That's so good. It's just so good. We actually have an opportunity, or had an opportunity, if Malone, if I timed it right, you see how he just jumped up a little bit because he's not a rival. We could have ended up sucking down on him and getting just that little opening for us to get inside and get the pass, like maybe right here. Yes, get to his fender. Oh, wow, we got super loose, as you saw right there. But getting to his fender, maybe getting a nice drive off. And we did get that nice drive off. However, we have no draft partner now. And with that, it's possible. Oh, we got in front of him. Oh. There we go. I did tap the brake there because we were in so tight. But we got through it. We're going to get smashed into by Schildhouse probably right now. No. What? I'm just a little confused why he's driving so clean. He is a rival. That's just not what they do. Never mind. Well, actually, that didn't actually affect us at all when he did that. That's weird. Ah! It's too late. Too late. He's there. He's on our fender. Looked like he was going to try to turn us. I got to just stick with what's in front of me and not what's behind me. We've got trucks up here that are... we got lappers, and it's going to be actually only the second time we will have encountered lappers this whole race. Got 31 laps left, and we haven't had a speed up. Let's go ahead and speed it up to 5 to go. Nothing else is really happening. We're just kind of racing with these guys, so let's just do that. We'll be back on the mic with 5 laps to go unless something pops up beforehand. God, no! No, 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 no. I did not want that. We were so far ahead of everyone because of lap traffic. We were getting around lap traffic so much better than everyone else. That sucks. Oh, I should have looked to see who caused that. We have crappy slick tires. So does everyone else. So that's even, but...
Hammer down, green's out. Outside.
Got Egan on our outside. Malone, Schildhouse, Norton, top 5. All custom drivers. Pretty great to see that, though, at the end of this race here. Just not happy about the fact that we were... I mean, they could draft up right now. They could catch and pass me with these last laps to go. I really don't have a ton of faith right now what's going to happen, and that just sucks. How long can I hold them off? Are their tires more worn than mine? I mean, from our experience when we were battling it out with Egan, that man's able to keep it tight the whole time no matter what, but we got 7/10 on him. And how long can we hang on to that 8/10 now, 9/10? What happened there? Maybe not getting it together early enough. All we have to do is keep the, now back to 8. Now all we have to do is just hold them off. Hold them off for 4 more, about to be 3 more laps. It's just, I mean, it's crazy. I'm just hoping that, yeah, it looks like we're driving away. It looks like we're in a better position here with the worn tires. I'm happy with where it's at right now. Because we're turning through these corners multiple miles an hour slower than we were. And of course, the grip isn't nearly what it was, so... Yeah, see, well, that wasn't good, but we were able to go through that before in the 170s, and then we're in the low 160s there. Egan's starting to catch us. Did they just draft up? Gaining 2/10 through those turns. These are just, I'm very concerned, but all I can do is just keep my eyes forward. Yep, he gained another 10th. Dang it. It's gonna potentially be at the line type situation here if I don't... Let me see if I can... I'm pushing it right now, pushing it as hard as I possibly can.
One more to go.
Final lap. As we go into turns 1 and 2, holding it pretty tight down at a high speed. This truck setup, I'm glad I'll have it saved. I mean, it ended up working out very well for us. A mixed match of other tracks that are of similar sizes and similar styles. But the most important thing, folks, is that we're going to bring it home. And after failing in the last race to complete it, we came out of this one and we worked our tails off to bring home a victory. Legend difficulty with everybody in the AI drivers or in the custom drivers just battling it out with us the whole time. What a great job for us and the team. Let's burn this thing down. Oh, I pressed the wrong button. Oh, no! I didn't get my screenshot. Top 5 for the race. I guess you can only burn it down for a moment. It didn't. I talked too much. I'll have to figure that out for future potential victories. Anyway, top 5, Savoy, Egan, Norton, Malone, and Schildhouse. That's the first time we had all custom drivers in the top 5. And let's extend it out to the top 6 with Max Cost coming in just outside the top 5. Top 10 driver, Jeremiah Graham in 9th. Casey Kane drives his way from the back up to 11th place. Great job for that team. Michael Chavez, 13th place. John Perez, 15th. Kenseth, 16th. Norik, 19th. Smith comes in 23rd. Oliveira, 25th. Jones, 28th. Stout, 29th. Bethel, 30th. Carpenter, 31st. Gustine does not finish the race. He's the one who brought out that last caution. 9 laps down. That's 5 victories this season. But we've also been on the wrong side of things. There we are! Accepting another generic trophy from the Camping World 225. Fastest lap of the race came to Bryce Egan, 31.298. Most laps led, Bryce Egan, 64. On the move, it was Casey Kane from last to 11th. Tough break, of course, Gustine, who was doing pretty well that race and then just didn't come out at the end. Hey, Austin Hill with the compliment. He's one of the people that already likes us anyway. But, you know, now he's happy instead of just kind. We like that. But, wow, 5 wins this season. Keep it up, Tony Savoy. And we might see each other in the championship. Maybe not there, Austin, but not because I don't actually know where he's at. And we'll jump right up out of the truck. Have a little snacky snack here in Chicago. Maybe get ourselves a good Chicago-style pizza. Enjoy it with the crew. Then we're right back to Chicagoland Speedway for the next episode in the Camping World 300. Yes, folks, Camping World is this entire weekend. We've got campers all over the infield. Everybody just having a fantastic time down here in the Windy City. I couldn't be more pleased with the finish in that race, and I look forward to taking out this Mike Harmon Racing 48 Camaro to the track and seeing what we can do in the next episode. Folks, that is going to do it for this episode, though. I do want to take a moment out to say thank you so very much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. And until next time, and of course, as always, you take care.